I want to run through a couple of scenarios with you with Social Security and the possible way to save for your future. If you're in high school or college, I would listen closely. This formula, which I have here at the bottom, is one of the formulas for future value. This is called future value with payment. You may not be too familiar with this. It's used when you want to give monthly and save monthly or yearly. I'll do it yearly into an account and over years invest it and get money back on it. I highly recommend this, and you can do this with $5,000 or $6,000 a year into a Roth IRA, and I'll go through that with you in a minute. The other formulas that we use or have been talking about with exponentials are the compound interest formula. Now, A stands actually for future value. What will this money be worth if I put this P, these dollars, this principal, this present value, if I put it in and invest it at a rate over time, and the time periods could be quarterly, monthly, or weekly. Some CDs even are daily interest. Another investment formula is also continuous interest, continuous compound interest. And again, we could put future value here, and P could be present value. These are actually financial formulas. So I will be referring to these for the next few minutes. The first scenario that I want to go through with you is if you had saved or you had inherited, somebody had given you $40,000 and you got it when you were 18 and you want to invest it for 45 years, which would mean you'd be 63, and you could invest it in the mutual funds or stocks and get an average of 6.75% compound interest. And you invested it at a quarterly rate. I'll run you quickly through these. This is using this first formula right here on the right. N is 4 quarterly. That means at the end of 45 years, you would have $813,000 in the bank, and only 40,000 of that would have actually been the money that you put in thanks to some wealthy relative that you had. If you invested it monthly, that would mean the N would be 12, and the math would come out a little bit more, 14,000 more. And if you had done this with the continuous interest formula, which is this one, commonly called PERT, and you plugged in your 40,000, you would get even more. And this would be maybe 21,000 more than with the quarterly. So these formulas are very powerful. Obviously, getting a 6.75 rate would be the goal. And the stock market has averaged that over the last 100 years, almost 100 years. Per year, it's actually a little higher than that. That includes the depression. So let's move on. Let's suppose you don't have a wealthy inheritance. Let's go with no rich relatives. Maybe that's you. No rich relatives. Well, I'm still going to use this let's save money every month formula. And a wise girl saved $5,000 per year in a Roth IRA. She starts when she's 18 years old, and she does this for 45 years. That puts her at 63 years old. If she puts it in a Roth IRA, that means she doesn't have to pay any tax on it after her first year. She does have to pay her first year, but if she makes this 5,000, that's about 4,200 a year, 420 a month. Sorry. Then year by year, she'd be saving $5,000 into an account. Here we show 45 years. That would be a total of $225,000 that she would have set aside in 45 years. Well, what do you think that turns into if she does that every year for 45 years. Well, using the formula I'll show you in just a second here, it actually turns out to be 1.3 million. Pretty nice. Now remember, she got 1.1 million interest on that, or dividends if you're in the stock market, while only putting 225,000 in over her life. Well, obviously a person that is this wise would teach their family by modeling the same issue. Let me give you another scenario. Here's the math for that up here on the top. Let me give you another scenario. What if a elderly family member encouraged all the adults in their family to save to offer $25 a month for each of them? That would save $200 into retirement. What a wise family person that would be. That would encourage and motivate people to save. The government's already done this in offering you no taxes on this money after you get through your first year. Why not follow that? And that would encourage adults, the older adults, to motivate the younger adult to save money right off the bat. That's a great return on the investment. $200 with $25 interest, that's 12.5% a year interest. So, second choice. What if wise adults saved $2,000 a year from the time a person was born? This would be your child or grandchild. And they did that for the first 18 years. Same scenario. This time $2,000 a year, which would be maybe $165 a month. And instead of Christmas presents and birthday presents, people would contribute to the retirement plan of this infant growing child. Now this money would be locked away for possibly until they reach 63. So people could contribute to this, and at 18, the child would take over and continue to put this $165 a month, which would not be a big strain. Using the same formula down here, we would put a $2,000 here. After 65 years, this account would be worth $2 million. Yes, again, I checked my figures. It's $2,038,790 to retire with, and get this, tax-free. How could that happen? Plug it into the formula and find out. This is truly the wise guy's way to replace Social Security. Social Security could drop off the cliff, and a wise person would have prepared for it. If you don't, you'll see the people in Washington are not that concerned. I'm not on any party side. They're just pushing this down the road and not acknowledging it at all. So you would see that actually over that time you would have only saved $130,000. That's all your money. That's it. And the interest earned would be 1.908 million. Believe that or not. That's the statistics on it. Once again, I believe that wise adults could offer as an incentive to their adult children to save $200 a month to keep this pattern up. Motivate them with $25 a month, and this number would be bigger. Now this would be the kids to take over at 18 years old. I would put this in some kind of account that would be kind of locked up and not accessible, just in case the kid's not that wise with money and is a bit of a not going to run it. Wouldn't offer kids money that don't know how to take care of it, and most kids are kids. Well, here's our wise government. If you know anything differently about it, let me know. This comic aptly illustrates government spending. And This is why I offer as an incentive to people, be smarter than the government. Here's the lie. The government has complete control of the country's finances. I'm not an alarmist, but I'm a realist here. Here's the truth. If the Fed lending rate goes to its average over time, it would be at 6%. Now it's low. I'll say 0.25%, might be slightly higher than that. The interest, if it goes to 6%, every year on the federal debt would be $1.8 trillion per year. Our entire federal government has no more income than 2.4 trillion. If you subtract those, oh, I did that wrong. This would be not zero point 0.8, it would be $0.6 trillion to run the entire federal government, Social Security, the military, all the federal government, education, all the bureaucracy, which now requires way above 2 point probably 8 trillion to run right now. These are not wise people. What if a wise adult, again, awards their family member $25 a month if they'll put $200 into a retirement per month? What a wise family that would be. Um, there's not a lot of wisdom in what's being done right now. So I hope that helps you. That's kind of the end of what I have on that topic. And hopefully this will spark some thought in your mind about what you could do, what your family could do to save for this future. Thank you.